Okay, in 7 minutes, what do we have here today?
Well, I have
Be higher, be higher, be higher. The super motherboard, motherlord,
Motherload,
motherload.
Super Motherload. When I talk about some of my favorite games of each genre, this has very commonly been on my list of my favorite deck building games. Specifically, the idea of having a base set of cards that are pretty rudimentary, and then over the course of the game, you are getting rid of cards in that deck and adding or replacing it with better versions of that card. That's a basic premise. We see it with a lot with Dominion and Ascension and Star Realms. This game is interesting in the fact there's no flop of five, so you don't have players competing for which cards. In fact, the cards that you can build your deck out of are entirely unique to you. Your starting deck and your expansion cards are entirely bespoke to your player, which means you will never ever compete with another player on cards. Your deck will always be unique to you because you will never have the other player's cards. That's the first cool thing. The second cool thing is that the whole objective of the game is to play Dig Dug. Do you know what Dig Dug is?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm old, but I'm also from North America. Dig Dug is a game from the 80s where it was like 8-bit graphics and you dug down. So it starts off with this little board,
Mhm.
which you can see here. Everyone starts on this board. And as you play the game, you dig.
I cannot hear
And
you
so
very
as
well. Okay.
you basically as you go down, you dig, and you basically the whole point of the game is you're digging down into this area,
Okay.
and you put down these tiles that are either 2 or 3 or 4 tiles, and then you place them down, and you get the rewards that you cover up. And so that is the entire game. You placing down little mining tiles and picking up those rewards. Those rewards help you get a better deck and so forth. And once you dig down far enough, you just add on to the board. So the first board gets attached here, and you continue to descend down into the depths of Mars,
Okay.
right? And as you can see, there are specific tiles that give you specific rewards. Like this is all currency. All this currency you use
Okay.
to buy new cards. So as you're digging, you're covering up these areas. Some of them are really hard to break through. Some of them are really hard stone. And then sometimes you'll find like an alien artifact, which is this skull, or you'll get a special treat, or one of these super rare gems. And this is all currency that you get, and you use that currency to buy the point cards that'll help you with the end game, or better miners that'll make you better at digging down into this tunnel. And as you play, you just continually add on.
Okay.
As you go up, you add another one, and you add another one, and you continue doing that for about 5 tiles. And as you go up, you take out the top tile. So it's this conveyor belt of a board. There's like 6 or 7 tiles, and they are double sided. So there's a lot of variety.
Okay.
And as you go down, you rinse and repeat. You place down tiles, and the cards will give you a 2 or a 3 or even a 4. And obviously, the bigger the square, the more rewards you will get.
Mhm.
And those rewards become currency that you use to buy more cards and buy point cards. It is incredibly simplistic. The cards, like I said, everyone gets their own deck, right?
Mhm.
So your starting cards are basically are unique to you, and all the cards you expand are unique to you. So it's a very, very unique game, and I absolutely love it because everybody is digging into this area. And if you dig down, I can basically put my tunnel right next to your tunnel. So it's, I wouldn't say semi cooperative, but we're basically working together as we snake down these mines, right? Because these are not unique to each player. This is the board that everyone uses. So we are constantly competing to get the right resources. But in that same context, we all want to get the good stuff. So we're all just digging and adding on to our own tunnels. And you continually do this as you dig down. And eventually you reach the bottom where the game ends. It is it's almost simple to learn because I basically told you almost the entirety of how this game works. You can see in the back here um, how the game is played,
Mhm.
but you basically are just covering up piles. It is a cool game and a cool idea, and I'm a little frustrated that no one has ever bothered to put out a sequel, put out an expansion, or play off of the variation. This is done by Roxley Games, and they've never done anything with it. But it's a game. It's almost, let's say, 6 or 7 years old by now, and it's not an easy game to find, which is too bad because I think it's probably one of the best and most unique interpretations. So many deck builders are like flop of 5, or here are all the cards you can purchase, which is the Dominion model. They're either using the Dominion model or they're using the Ascension flop of 5 model because those are very easy to use. Even games that play off of and do something unique, like Dune, like the Dune deck building game, it's still a board. You still have a flop of 5 that you're a flop of cards you're purchasing. But this game is probably one of the most unique interpretations of deck building that I've seen. Nobody has done a deck building game where the cards you buy are completely unique to your player, and nobody competes with you on that.
That sounds pretty cool.
And the entire competition is digging in a communal tunnel. So yeah, I give this game like 8 out of 10. It's probably not that expensive. There's not a lot of cards in the game. But yeah, that's Super Motherload. Good luck trying to find it, but if you can, it's probably one of the best deck building games out there.
Well, it's a pity. It sounds. I love the idea of the conveyor belt sort of scenario where you are adding more and more and more, and it surprises me that it hasn't done better because it also feels like the game that would be perfect to get expansion after expansion after expansion after expansion with different tiles, with different cards, with different everything. So I don't know why that went down, but it certainly sounds very good. And for what I've seen, it looks very, very pretty.
It's a very pretty game. It's got a lot of artwork. It's about $49 US. So it's not terribly cheap, but I think it could be a bit cheaper. But there's a lot of stuff in the box, even though the box isn't very good. It isn't very big. It is out of stock on Roxy's site. But once again, I think this is a game that just hasn't found its market. I think it's a really fun game. As one person called it, it's one of the few non-confrontational deck builders. So if you're looking for a non-confrontational deck builder, you love deck building, but you don't like how aggressive and how take-thatty it is, it is a fantastic. I mean, there is competition. You are competing for the resources as you dig, but there are always more tunnels to dig. There's always more resources. There's always another board to add on. So it is a very, very fun game.
Sounds very cool. Well, if people have played the game or have any questions about it, it would be very good if they actually left it on the show notes, on the comments section, so we can answer them in future episodes, which will come very soon indeed. But until the next time, humans, if you want to get in touch, if you want to come to the show and talk to us, please say hi. It would be great to have more people around, even though I am intentionally starting doing more interviews. I just need to find another hour a week to do interviews and then the time to edit it. But I want to do more interviews. Anyway, if you want to be in the podcast, just let us know. You can write to me, podcast@gmsmagazine.com. Or find me on Facebook, where I still am very much. You can still find me on Twitter, but I am not really interacting there very much. But you can find me and interact with me in Blue Sky, where I am trying to be more active because the community there is way, 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 way cooler. But anyway, all the links are going to be down there in the show notes.
And it's Chris from DSX Machina. I am on Blue Sky under DSX Machina. It's really blowing up. Like it's amazing how many people are joining up Blue Sky. Like not a day goes by without somebody getting into that. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And way better interaction than Twitter right now. So yes, please do say hello over there. It would be great to have you humans around. But until the next time, thank you very, very much indeed for being there. And we will talk to you very, very soon. Take care.